Hello, it's Liz. I'm back again with your maths lesson. Isn't it great that we can learn like this at home, and I can be in the comfort of my own home and you in your own home, and we're still learning and I'm still able to do my job. That's a big privilege for me. And grade threes, I just love the fact that I can actually teach you on a daily basis. So today's lesson is going to be dealing with all the concepts we've done so far. We took a couple of days break with doing graphs, and I like to focus on the graphs, and I hope you managed with those. And now, as I explained before, we are going to concentrate on using the skills that we've learned and applying them to our everyday maths. And then when you do the worksheet at the end of this lesson, and then you can mark it as well and see how well you've done, then you're actually practicing these same concepts again. And we keep coming back to them because that's good practice to do. We never just forget about fractions because we've taught fractions. We keep coming back and coming back and coming back so that you never forget. In fact, you can do all these things in your sleep. Imagine that, grade threes. All right, so let's get on. Brought to you by our special group of people called WorksheetCloud. And there is the email address if you would like to get hold of us or hold of me, or if you need any questions with this lesson. Okay, I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to get in touch with me. And as I said before in our other lessons, you'll remember you're going to need a pencil and paper so that you can complete a couple of little calculations that I'd love you to do. So just pause the video if you haven't got paper, and then I don't have to wait for everybody, so we don't have to waste time, because I'm sure you've got lots of other things to do, like chores at home and all sorts of other things, like playing outside. So go and get yourself a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay, now we are ready to carry on, and this lesson is called Number Mixed Bag 4, and I'm calling each lesson 1, 2, 3, or 4 so that we can keep track if you ever need to go back to them. And we're progressing as we go along, so we're getting better and better and better, and some of the things I do a little bit more challenging every time because you're so clever. I can't let you be doing the same stuff. You've got to learn a little bit more difficult things, and if there are things that are a bit of a challenge, that's not a problem. That means you're learning. Go back and watch the video again in some of the parts that you're struggling with. And remember, I'm going to come back to those things all the time so that we can not just let them fly out in the sky. You're going to be coming back and learning and learning and learning as you go along. And there is another mixed bag. Beautiful sweets and nice things to snack on, which Mrs. Harwin loves to do. I'm a real snacker. All right, so let's carry on. Excuse me, you haven't forgotten, have you? No, there's a funny dog hasn't forgotten. We have to have a joke for the day, for goodness sake. We don't want to start maths without a big smile on our faces, so let's go ahead. Let's laugh a little. Okay, now what is T-Rex's favorite number? Now you know more than I do, grade threes, what T-Rex is, right? That huge, big, scary dinosaur. So T-Rex's favorite number, what do you think it is? 8. And why is it 8? Because ATE is eat something or eat something, and EIGHT is the number 8, and T-Rex liked to gobble up quite a lot, didn't he? That's funny. Yes, you cheeky little chipmunk. All right, and the next one is, why did the 2 4s skip lunch? I wouldn't skip lunch ever. I love my food too much. But why did the 2 4s skip lunch? Because they already ate. Okay, I'm sorry. They're a bit lame. They're a bit really tedious. But anyway, you can send me some jokes yourself. Maybe I can improve on them in my next lesson. How about that? Well, grade threes, my monkey likes the jokes. Okay, so what are we going to focus on today? And as I said before, we are going to cover the concepts we've done so far. We're going to go over them and practice them. Counting and 3 and 4 times tables. I'm going to repeat that from last time because we need to zoom in on it, and we're focusing on that. We're going to look at graphs because we had lessons in the last little while on graphs, and number patterns, which are very important, money calculations, fractions, because we need to come back to that, and word problems as well. So let's get moving. Counting. Now, what should we going to do with counting this time? Right, because we're doing 3 and 4 times table, I'm focusing still on the 3 and 4 times table in number patterns. But this time we're counting backwards from 36 in threes. So it's 36, then 33, count with me, 30, 27, we're minusing 3 each time, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. Can you get it quicker than I can, grade 3s? And guess what I'm going to do next? Well, we're going to count in 30s, starting from 360. And remember, I did tell you before that if 30 is 10 times the size of 3. So there's a nice combination of pattern going on there too. So let's start at 360. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, which remember, you can go back to this and practice it over and over again. So 360, take away 30, we're making it 30 less, leaves us with 330. And then 300, look at the pattern with the yellow numbers and with the purple numbers. 270, 240, 210, 180, 150, 120, 90, 60, and 30. Right, so we're counting backwards in 30s over there. And the next pattern we're going to do is in 4s, but we're counting back from 48. So 48, 44, 40, 36, 32, 28, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, and 4. Right, so what do you think we're going to do next? Yes, absolutely. We're going to count back in 40s, starting from 480. And you're going to see the pattern between the top row of numbers, which is your 48 and 44, and then 480, take away 40. So we're starting at 480, right? 440, 400, 360, 320, 280, 240, 200, 160, 120, 80, and 40. And then the last thing I'm doing is I'm going to count upwards, going bigger this time, from 225, and we're counting in 25's grade 3. So plus 25 is 250. Look at the pattern. Remember we did this a little while ago. 275, 300, 325, 350, 375, 400, 425, 450, 475, and 500. And you can count that for hours and hours and hours. You can keep counting 25 or any number for that matter, just never ever ends. Infinity. That's a new maths word that you can learn. Right. Oh, what would maths be without tables? I know some of you think, oh no, please, I don't want to do more tables. Yes, we are. Sadly or gladly, one of the two. I think it's gladly. We need to know our tables. It makes us such maths whizzes. Okay, and I'm focusing again on 3 times and 4 times. We've done 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, and 11 times, and you know those as quick as a whiz. Now we are zooming in on 3 times and 4 times as we did last time. So I'm going to ask you again, grade 3s, just pause this video, because it's good for all of us just to pause it and not have to wait for ages, and I don't want to put you under pressure. Now you're going to take your own time to write numbers 1 to 20 on your piece of paper, and this is where your paper and pencil comes in handy, and you're going to jot down the numbers as quickly as you can, but rather as accurately as you can, more importantly. And then you're going to unpause it and keep playing it, and I'm going to go over the answers for you so you can mark it yourself. Okay, ready, steady, go. Right, now we're going to do the answers. Are you ready? 7 times 3, 21. 3 fours are 12. 12 threes, 36. 5 fours are 20. Remember, anything multiplied by 5, the answer ends in a 5 or a 0. 11 times 4, 44. You know, you just double the 4, and that's the pattern with 11 times. 10 times 3, anytime you multiply a number by 10, it gains a 0, so it's 30. 7 fours are 28, which is 7 times 2, double. 7 times 2 is 14, double is 28. 12 times 4 is 48, 8 threes are 24, 9 fours are 36, and remember with 9 times table, whenever we multiply the answer with the two numbers in your answer added together, always add up to 9. So with the answer of 36, 3 and 6 must add up to 9, otherwise you know you've made a mistake. Right, from number 11 now, 3 threes, 9, 10 times 4, 40, 6 threes, 18, 4 fours, 16, 5 threes, 15, 2 fours are 8, and see that is half of 4 times 4, which is 16, so 2 times 4 is half of that, which is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, 8 times 4 is 32, 6 times 4 is 24, and 9 times 3 is 27. How many did you get right? Oh, it doesn't matter if you get a couple wrong. Go and write that one down, stick it up on your mirror, or put it on the fridge in the kitchen, and get Mom or Dad to ask you the ones that you don't know. And before you know it, guys, chip chop, you'll be a 3 times and 4 times table whiz kid, I promise. Don't let tables get you down. You must be the boss of tables. What do you think? Okay, now let me put myself down here. Look how I can jump around the screen. It's quite amazing. Here we've got some interesting number patterns. Now grade 3s, because you're grade 3 and I know you're smart, every now and again I'm going to put a little bit of a challenge up for you. And you might every now and again think, oh gosh, that's quite tricky, but what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this as a teacher? I need to challenge you at some time and to make you think a little bit. So let's have a look at this pattern. What is happening between each number? Well, it's getting smaller. The numbers are getting smaller, which means that I need to understand by how much each number is getting smaller. So if I look at 32, it's jumping down to 29. So it's getting smaller by 3 each time. 29 minus 3 is 26. Minus 3 is 23. 23 minus 3 is 20. Minus 3, 17. Minus 3, 14. Minus 3, 11. Minus 3, 8. And then 5, and then 2. So there's your pattern, getting smaller and smaller from 32 down to 2, and we are getting smaller by 3 each time. What's happening with the next one? Well, we're starting at 1, and we're definitely getting bigger. But by how much, and what is the pattern here? And you know, with patterns, it doesn't have to happen that the same thing happens each time. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. But we're not adding 1 on to get 4. What did we add on till 2 to get 4? Ah, yes, we added 2. So we added 1 and then we added 2. And then to get from 4 to 7, what did we do? We added 3. So we're adding 1 more each time. So it makes sense that 7 needs to have 4 added to it this time, which is 11. And then 11 needs to add 5, which is 16. And then add 6, which is 22. Add 7, which is 29. Add 8, which is 37. Add 9, which is 46. And add 10, which is 56. So what did we do here, grade 3? We added 1 there, and then 2, and then we added 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you're getting the idea. Some tricky little patterns, but you can manage that. The next one, oh, here we go. This is also getting smaller from 65. But what are we jumping in? 65, 60, 55, 50. We're jumping in fives, right? 45, 40. Notice the pattern. Either the answer ends in a 5 or a 0. 35, 30, 25, 20, and 15. It was quite easy peasy. And the next one now. All right, what's happening here? It's getting smaller. So we said 59 minus 1 is 58. Then we minus 2. And then we minus 3. So it's getting smaller by 1 extra each time. So the next time will be 53. We're going to minus 4 is 49. Minus 5 is 44. Minus 6 is 38. Minus 7 is 31. Minus 8 is 23. Minus 9 is 14. And minus 10 is 4. There we go. We were subtracting 1 more each time. Okay, so now this one here, we have got 3 plus 3, which is 6. And then we've got 4 plus 4, which is 8. Now that's a different pattern. I've never seen that one before. So let's see. I think the next one could be 5. Let's see. We went from 3. Right, 3 doubled is 6. Then we went 4 doubled is 8. 5 doubled, what's that? 10. And then we go 6 doubled is 12. Then 7 doubled is 14. And the next number will be 8 in this pattern. But we have to end there because that's where the pattern finishes for today. But if we had to add one more, we'd obviously would double 8 to make it 16. Great, great, great. Here we go. What we got next? I've forgotten. Graphs, yay, graphs. Okay, so this is a bar graph. Now we've done a bar graph. Before we've done a pictogram, we did a bar graph, we've done a pie chart, and we've even done a line graph. So we're going to look at the bar graph in this example. And remember, girls and boys, every graph needs to have a title. So you've got a name, I've got a name, and the bar graph needs a name. So this name is all, this bar graph tells us that we've got ice cream preferences. So children all voted for ice creams. Right, and there are their votes right there in that little box on the one side. On the left-hand side, which is your vertical axis or your vertical line, your rows tells us how many votes each ice cream got, and the bottom columns are lists of your ice cream flavors. Right, now what you're going to do for me today is you're going to have a look at this key here, which tells you what votes each ice cream flavor got. And you might notice that 2 flavors got 7 votes and 2 flavors got 3 votes. So I'm going to ask you to put these into the right places. Right, so let's start at the ice creams that got the most votes, and that is Choco and Cherry. So I'm going to put Cherry there. So Cherry got 7. And then I'm going to put Choco in that spot. I could put them in either spot, doesn't really matter. Then the next most votes was Berry got 6. Mango got 5. Ooh, my favorite is mango. And Vanilla got 3, but so did Pecan. Now grade 3s. I don't know how to say which would be my favorite, but I think I would go mango would be my best. Then I would go pecan, and then I would go vanilla. That would be me. Now we can look at a pie graph. Or pie chart. I love pie charts. It was so colorful. They look like big bright pizzas. Okay, so let's have a look at this one then. This one is children who have voted for their favorite chocolate bars. Okay, now I'm going to show you which ones got the best votes by putting them in the color that is the biggest. And I put Nosh with blue because Nosh chocolates are my favorite. They've got like, delicious chocolate and all sorts of other stuff, but lovely nuts in there too. So Nosh got the most votes, and then Kit Kat, then Crunch, then Lunch Bar, and then Bar 1. Bar 1 got the least votes, and Bar 1's also one of my favorites. But look here, somebody got these numbers all wrong. You can see that Bar 1 only got 5. Bar 1 was the least, but Bar 1 got 58 votes. No, there's something wrong. So we need to correct this by looking at the pie chart and seeing which number or votes fits with which chocolate bar. So there I put an extra little column of rows for us to correct this mistake. So Nosh got 58, that's the most. Kit Kat was the next biggest, so that must get the 36. And girls and boys, can you see I've made a mistake here? This there shouldn't be 5. I've got 2 5s, so that is incorrect. So the next one is 31, and then 15 your lunch bar, and then your bar 1 is the last one. So I should have actually put 31 with the crunch instead of, I should have actually replaced those two, well, one of those two with the 31. But anyway, we all make mistakes, and I have now kind of corrected it. So there we go. That's a pie graph or a pie chart showing our favorite chocolate bars. Money, money, money. We all love money, don't we? But we're going to add up our money now. We're going to total the amount of coins and notes. Firstly, we've got 2 50-cent coins, we've got 4 20-cent coins, and then 3 10-cent coins. Let's add those up, and I'm going to ask you to tell me what they are in cents and then write them as rands. Right, so let's put our little cents there and our rands. So we're going to count these up now. So 50 plus 50 is 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 190, 200, 210. 210 cents. But when we've got 200 cents, that means we've got 2 rand and 10 cents. Right. 2 rand and 10 cents. Good. Now let's look at the next calculations we have to add up. We've got 3 5 rand coins. We've got 2 2 rand coins and 3 1 rand coins and 3 50-cent coins. Right. So let's see how we can add these up. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22. Those two 50s make 23, and then there's a little 50 cents that's left over that goes after the comma, remember? And what is our total in rands? 23 rand and 50 cents. Great. And next we can do some money calculations. And again, I'm going to be using food. I think you can see that Mrs. Harmon loves her food. It really is one of my favorite things to do is to eat. Okay, so we've got 3 ice creams, and this time they're 12 rand each. And we've got 4 soft drinks, and this time they are 7 rand each. So I need to work out what is the total cost if I've got 3 ice creams and 4 soft drinks in my basket, my shopping basket. So firstly, we're going to do 12 times 3, 12 rand for each ice cream is 36 rand, because you know your tables. 7 rand times 4, and you know your tables again, is 28 rand. So 36 rand plus 28 rand means I have spent a total cost of 64 rand. Then I go shopping the next day, and this time I have got, where shall I put myself? I have got 3 bunches of bananas, and they each are 15 rand. And I have 2 little packets of apples, and those are each 13 rand. So let's calculate our bananas first. Obviously, 15 times 3 is 45. Good. We've counted in 15s before. 13 times 2 is 26 Rand for my apples. But if I add them up together, 45 plus 26, 71 Rand. Fractions now. Wow, we are going through the work like Boeings, aren't we? Right, fractions, remember, is when we break up a whole number or a whole item into equal parts. And I'm going to show you what is called a fractions bar or a fractions chart. There I'm showing, I'm showing 1 whole, 2 halves, 3/3, 4 quarters, right? So 1 whole is the same as 2 halves, 3/3, 4 quarters, 5/5, 6/6, 7/7, and 8/8. Now we're going to look at equivalent fractions. Remember, I did speak about that the last time we did fractions, equivalent fractions. So we're going to say, well, 1/2 is the same as what? Is the same as 2 quarters, 4/8, and 3/6. Well, let me just show you that, grade 3s. Let me just see if you can see what I'm talking about. I'm now going to grab my highlighter and I'm going to change its color. I think I will make it red, and you will see that 1/2. So I'm going to highlight 1/2 there, right? Is the same as 2 quarters, 3/6, where am I? 6, and 4/8. Right, so there we go, because it goes down that line there. Okay. Let's look at the next example. 2 quarters, there's 2 quarters, is the same as 4/8. Right, 4/8. Where's my 4/8? There's my 4/8. And 3 quarters, right, I'm going to change color if it will allow me to. 3 quarters, which is along there, is the same as 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, come on. It doesn't want me to draw 6/8. I'm going to have a closer look at that. 1/3, there's my 1/3, is the same as 2/6. There we go, they line up. 2/3 is the same as 4/6. I'm making a bit of a mess of this poor fractions chart, aren't I? There we go. Done with our fractions. Now, word problems. Remember, what were the things we have to keep in mind? Read carefully and underline the question, which we will do. We need to discover or find out what do we already know. What do we still need to find out? And we need to highlight numbers and circle the keywords. Solve the problem and write our answer in a sentence. So here comes our problem, right? Well, yes, our word problem. Here comes our word problem. An athlete runs 6 days of the week. So Sunday, the athlete has a rest. He keeps track of the number of kilometers he runs. On Monday, he runs 21 kilometers. Tuesday 18, Wednesday 13, Thursday 19, Friday 22 kilometers, and Saturday 15 kilometers. How far does he run altogether? So I said, let's underline the question. We've got to see what is the total number of kilometers he runs in 6 days. And then we're going to circle the numbers we've got to work with, so that we don't leave any out, and we focus on those important things that are in this word problem. And then the key word is how far does run, I think, is all together. That tells us that we've got to add them all together. And this time I'd like to focus on using the method where we add our numbers in their families, not the train method for this particular example. So that means we're going to add the tens first and then the units. So let's do the tens, right? 20 plus 10 plus 10 is 40, plus 10 is 50, plus 20 is 70, plus 10 is 80. So now that's 80 kilometers, grade 3s. We've added up all our 10s. Now let's add the next part of the family, which is the ones, or the units. So 1 plus 8 plus 3 plus 9 something's going wrong with my cursor here, plus 2 plus 5 equals 28. Right. Now we split the 10s and the 1s and the units. So now what we have to do is add them together. We've got to join them together. So 80 plus 28 is 108 kilometers. He ran 108 kilometers in those days. And there is my sentence which tells me the answer. The athlete ran 108, except that's not 108, Mrs. Hahn. It's supposed to be 108, but that is 104. Mistake. Correction, 108. Okay. Now, I'm going to teach you something completely different. And initially, I'm just warning you, you're probably going to go, oh, I can't do this, but once you latch onto this lovely puzzle, and it's good for your brains, you're going to want to do these all the time. Can I tell you a secret? When I fly on an airplane, or I travel in a car, and I'm not driving, obviously, then I take my Sudoku book, or even my word puzzle book, and I do these for the whole flight, or read my book, whatever. But this is such fun, and you get hooked on them. So I'm going to start with a very simple one, and don't get panicked if you can't do it. What I suggest you do is then try and work with somebody in your family or one of your friends and see if you can work this out together. So don't get worried if it's a bit tricky, because I'm trying to extend your minds. That's what teachers do. Okay, so it is learning Sudoku, and we start with a smaller one. And this Sudoku here has only got 4 numbers per row, per column, and per square that you need to complete. So let me give you an idea of what we do here. So what the rule is this. Depending on how many numbers you have to fill in, each row has to have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're going to be in different orders. Right? Here are your rows. Each row has to have the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4. And then each column, whoopsie, go back, each column, me trying to juggle around all these little pens and stuff. All right, so each column, and here is a column. Here are your columns. Each column has to have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can't have this 2 numbers in a column. It has to be 1 of each. You can't have 2 4s or 2 3s or whatever. That's not even enough. That's not the end. Then what you actually have to have is, come on, give me another color. That's badly behaved. Then what you need, I think I'll take a blue. Each square has to have the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now you've got to be very careful that you don't put these in the wrong places. So it is a process of elimination. So you have to make sure you are 100% clear and completely sure that the numbers fit in the right places. You can't just put them any old place, just where you feel like it, because then you're going to come with a problem. So now here is an example for you to do, guys. Okay, let's have a look. So now all they've given you is 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 in specific places. So you have to think to yourself, right, let's have a look at this one here. And remember what I said to you before. Come on, what's going on? Remember what I said to you before. You have to have the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 in each row, each column, and each square. So I'm going to start with this and see if I can figure this one out. So what is missing here in these two squares? 1 and 2 is missing. No, sorry, 1 and 4. Now I can't put a 4 here, can I? Because that means this row will have 2 4s. So a 1 has got to go there, and a 4 has got to go there. All right, so the 1 will have to come here, the 4's got to go there, it can't go there. So I have now can see my 4 has got to go there, and so then the 1 has only one place to go. Now let's see what else we can try and figure out. All right, so what is missing from this square? A 2 and a 1. Now I know I can't put a 1 here because there's already a 1 here. So my 2 goes there, and the only place for my 1 is there. Okay, what shall we look at next? Okay, so in this row, let me go back one step. In this row, there's 1 missing, and there's only one place for the 2 to go, and I'll put it there. And in this row, there is a 3 missing, and there's only one little spot where that 3 can go, and that is there. So we've completed that. The next thing I'm going to do is I know, and I'm going to put these in first, grade 3, is that I know that I have got to put a 1 and a 2 in these two squares because there's a 3 and the 4 already here. But I cannot put a 2 there because there's a 2 there already. So those are the only two places for my 2 and my 1 to go. Next step, right, is I'm going to put my 4 in that little spot because 4 and 1 is missing here. I can't put the 1 here because there's a 1 in that row already, and I can't have 2 1s in one row. So those are the only positions I can put those. And then what's missing here is a 3 and a 4. Well, a 3 can't go there. So I have to put my 4 there because a 4 can't go here, and I have to put my 3 there. So those are the only places, grade 3, that I can actually put those numbers in. They all belong in their special place, and there's only one spot for each of those numbers. So I'm going to put that in one of your in your worksheet that you're going to do later on, and I'm going to see if you can manage to get that one right. So, and there we go. Now you're going to go and download the worksheet, and you're going to complete whatever I prepared for you on those worksheets. And I think they're about 2 or 3 pages. And this is based on what we've done in this video. So if you get a bit stuck, just go back to the video and watch it. And that should give you a good idea about what to do. So all that is left for me to do then is to say, from WorksheetCloud and from me, Les, to you special grade 3s, all I'm going to say now is a very happy day for the rest of the day. Be happy, be safe, be helpful, be kind to each other, and remember to meet me for your next lesson. So it's me, Les, your maths teacher, signing out and giving you a little bye. Yes.